Clarisse walks through the cavernous aisles of a commercial wholesale club, pushing a heavy flatbed cart loaded with bulk supplies. Outwardly, she looks like any other civilian stocking up for the month, but beneath that domestic facade, her mind is involuntarily mapping camera blind zones, calculating the weight distribution of the shoppers around her, and measuring the distance to the emergency exits. Then a visual anomaly breaks the routine. In the reflection of a high-angle security mirror, she spots a man in a dark windbreaker checking her sightlines. 2 aisles over, her former handler, Vance, is matching her stride for stride. You can memorize the rhythm of a normal, quiet life, but the old rule of tradecraft still applies. Just because you're trying to disappear doesn't mean they've stopped looking for you. Vance corners her in the food court, positioning his backup agent by the condiment counter to anchor the perimeter while he takes the seat opposite her. This flowchart illustrates the crisis. A legacy intelligence server Clarisse originally designed, known as Site 9, has triggered an internal failsafe. It is running a thermal purge sequence that will result in the imminent erasure of massive, highly classified data nodes. Vance slides an encrypted keycard across the table. She has 12 minutes to authenticate her root signature and stop the purge, or the agency executes a scrubbing protocol to erase her identity and turn the warehouse into a classified containment zone. This leaves her with a specific tactical problem: how to defeat an institutional ambush when the enemy holds all the manpower and the leverage. Clarisse ignores conventional weapons. Instead, she weaponizes her spatial awareness of the facility to neutralize the immediate physical threat. This blueprint shows the structural choke points Clarisse secured. She demonstrates she has mapped every emergency route. Pointing to an exposed power conduit, she explains a single short circuit kills the overheads and forces sliding doors into manual breakaway, dropping Vance's perimeter. In a physical standoff, mastering the architecture of the room often matters more than bringing the most muscle. The conflict moves to the interior of the agency's tactical van, where the server's thermal purge countdown is entering its final minutes. The agency's modern software stack is failing, because they are trying to authenticate with handshake keys that were deprecated when the loop was isolated. The system perceives their connection as a hostile probe and refuses access. This diagram compares the two approaches. Clarisse ignores the blocked digital pathway and uses an analog hardware bypass, a custom shunt that matches the sensor impedance to bridge directly into the raw core system. Foundational knowledge of the physical hardware layer will always defeat surface-level software access. Clarisse takes control of the ruggedized terminal, bypassing the agency's lopouts to input a master disposition code. She executes the command and dissolves the archive. By wiping the telemetry logs they desperately needed, she effectively dismantles their leash over her. Vance watches the terminal wipe clean. He concedes the loss, realizing that without that data, the agency has no remaining leverage to force her return. To the agency, Clarisse has chosen to destroy her life's work rather than let it be used to control her. The agency van drives away in the rain, seemingly ending the conflict with the permanent loss of the Northern Corridor intelligence. This animation reveals the true technical maneuver. Clarisse executed a local replication daemon, splitting the data stream, so that while one path disintegrated, a second, hidden path routed into an isolated node. The entire intelligence archive is now fully decrypted and sitting on her own air-gapped sovereign hardware inside her hidden workshop. Clarisse turned an extraction attempt into an offensive heist, walking away with the agency's most valuable intelligence. Possessing the archive shifts her status from a hunted asset to a sovereign entity. She no longer relies on the agency's permission to exist in the open. Lasting autonomy requires deep understanding of the infrastructure meant to contain you. Independence comes from mastering a system so thoroughly that you can walk away and dictate your own terms.